raising a request through Hornbill, it can either be performed in the user app by an analyst or via one of our portals by a customer. In the user app, you can raise a request from the different request types. And here, each of these types has a default progressive capture, i.e. a series of questions that will be asked. For example, if an incident is selected, some incident-related questions will be asked. And this is configured through a specific progressive capture used for incidents in the user app. This is exactly the same for the other request types, each with a different progressive capture. So for example, a new service request or a new change each has its own. These default captures are set in the admin tool under some default system settings. Once in the admin tool, if you navigate to Home, Hornbill Service Manager and Application Settings, this is where you'll find them. They're on the second page, highlighted here, in this case for the change and incident examples. So how does that look when we raise a request? Well, here we have raised a new service request and asked for the affected customer. Next, we present the form to enter the details of this request. And next, we have to select the service and the catalogue item that the request should be logged against. Now, a very common situation is that once this has been selected, we want the next question to relate to exactly what has been selected. So for example, in this case, we might select the onboard new employee catalogue item, and we want the next question to be requesting the new starter's name and details. Now, as you can see from the default progressive capture, the first three forms we've just looked at are fairly self-explanatory. But if we want to accommodate every service and catalogue item we have, and the next question to be in correspondence to what's just been selected, we have lots of decisions. It can get very large and very messy very quickly. The larger this gets, the more difficult it is to maintain and the fewer options you have within Hornbill. So this is why you might want to split this out into different captures specific to the catalogue item, and in effect switch your progressive capture from the default to the specific at a point that you define based on what's already been selected. Here we've created two captures. One for the new starter requests, with specific questions related to that, and one for requests for leave, again with specific questions relating to that. This is simply set up when you're setting up your services. So here we have a service called Management Services, and we'll be selecting the service request type. Then under the catalogue item section, we either choose to add or edit an existing catalogue item. And once you're inside there, you've got the option to set the progressive capture that's actually used for that catalogue item, as well as the visibility, i.e. do you want this to be an option in the user app, the portal, or both? Also, ensure to publish it. So how does this work in action? In these next screenshots, I've combined the progressive capture that's being used in the admin tool with what the analyst sees when logging a request. So first, the default progressive capture is being used, and the very first thing that gets selected is the customer search. Next is the request details form, still on the default progressive capture. Then still on our default progressive capture, we're asked to select the service and the catalogue item. Now we want the next question to be dependent on what is selected here by switching to the relevant progressive capture and carrying on. So if we have a look at the revised workflow, we have a branch now asking, was a catalogue item selected? This decision criteria is made by asking if the progressive capture ID has been selected, or as we call it, set. And if it has, we want to use our switch capture node, which has been configured to switch to the relevant progressive capture based on what's set up against the catalogue item that we configured earlier. And as you can see, after clicking next on the screen, we've actually switched over from the default progressive capture to the new starter progressive capture. But in the user app, this is seamless and it just continues through asking the questions as if it was one. So that's raising requests in the user app, but how does this affect the portals? Now the key thing to keep in mind is that if you would like customers to raise requests via the portal, then there must be catalogue items set up to be able to do this. So in our example, after clicking the Management Services service, the customer is presented with our 2 catalogue items. The other key difference is that there are no default progressive captures in the portal. Customers are presented directly with the progressive capture linked to that catalogue item. So again, here you can see our leave request capture is used. And recruiting for new employees, new starter progressive capture is used. So again, how does this look to the customer? As you can see, they're presented directly with the new starter details form. They don't need to be presented with a customer question form because we already know who's logged into the portal. And they don't need to be presented with any service or catalogue item options because they've already selected that to be able to get to this stage. One other key thing to bear in mind that you might notice is that even if you do have a customer or service form in your progressive capture, the system is clever enough to work out that this is being raised via the portal and it will automatically skip it and move on to whatever the next node is.